Well, ladies and gentlemen, the stimulus bill is officially signed. Myself, you, everyone's aunts, uncles, brothers, dogs, sisters, nephew is getting $600 in the mail. Now, my fellow YouTubers, literally like all of them, have been posting content the last 2 days on what this means, how this is going to affect you, and the details of this new signed stimulus bill. But here's the question that nobody is asking. Yes, it happened. Yes, we're celebrating. But what does this mean for our economy, and more specifically, our real estate market? Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Daniel, one half of the Kwak Brothers. And yes, as you read it in the title and every other title and every single YouTube video out there, the stimulus has been signed and Bernie Sanders is somewhere in China wearing his winter coat, asking once again for your financial support so that he too become a millionaire or a billionaire.
Okay, dude.
Either way, there's a lot of money being printed and this new stimulus is indeed signed. So on this video, we're going to be talking about how this new stimulus does indeed affect the economy and how it specifically affects the real estate market. Now, there is an immense cost to this stimulus and there is a giant, immense point that nobody has brought up, which I will mention here in a second, but stick around to the end of the video because we are actually announcing one of the 3 winners of our December giveaway. Now, there are 2 more winners left to be picked and also announced. So if you want to know how to enter the contest, we are giving away really cool stuff. Stick around to the end of the video and I'll share with you how to do that exactly. Now, when it comes to the stimulus, let me first start off by saying that I believe there is no such thing as a free lunch. With all this money that we're printing out and giving away, eventually somebody's going to have to pay for it.
I'm paying good money for this. It's trash.
Well, I believe the people that are going to be paying for it have not been born yet. We're most likely just going to continue to kick the can down the road like we've been doing for decades now. But let's talk about the point that I mentioned earlier in terms of the immense aspect that no one is talking about. Now, guys, this may seem a little bit obvious to some of you, and for some of you, it may be a complete game changer, and it also might be a little controversial. But my personal belief is that, well, I believe that these stimulus programs are going to accelerate and eventually completely deplete the Social Security Fund. That's right, I've said it.
Oh my God.
I feel for you.
Now, guys, let's look at some of the facts that have already been existing before this whole pandemic happened when it comes to the Social Security Fund. Let's consider number 1, that since 2001, which is 19 years ago, by the way, I was like 7 years old, I think. I don't know. But since then, the government has been in a spending deficit, a federal deficit every year since 2001. Matter of fact, between 1998 and 2001 are the only years since 1970 that our government has not been in a spending deficit. And now you add the pandemic on top of that, it makes the situation significantly worse. Well, consider this fact as well. Where does Social Security come from? Hardworking Americans who spend countless hours working for a paycheck. And when we look at that paycheck, when we receive it, we see that parts of it does go indeed to Social Security. Now, the part that scares me the most is, well, remember when we all received $1,200 earlier this year? We were all happy. It was the first wave of stimulus. Well, a lot of people at Wharton School of Business and also the Committee of the Federal Budget actually indicated, these researchers have actually said that first wave of stimulus actually allowed and caused the date in which the Social Security Trust Fund will dry up. It actually moved it to 2031. And well, with continued stimulus and these continued programs that are continuing to come in, a lot of researchers at these institutions indicate that 2031 can actually come a lot sooner than normal, meaning that if somebody is 65 years old right now, with the way things are currently, without any additional stimulus, any more checks coming in the mail, that 2031 number could easily be 2026 or 2029. Imagine being 65 years old right now, and by the time you're 70, the Social Security Trust Fund already dries up.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I don't think this is working.
Now, how does this affect the real estate market? Now, in this bill, we saw 2 very, very obvious components. Number 1 is that $25 billion will be allocated towards rental assistance. Now, my brother Sam already made a video about this yesterday, so I encourage you guys to go ahead and watch it in terms of rental assistance and how that's going to be allocated. Number 2 is that the eviction moratorium is now being extended to January 31st as opposed to December 31st. Now, for me, this brings on 2 questions. Number 1, how will renters and property owners receive assistance? And number 2, who is qualified to receive this? I took the liberty of getting on the official government website in terms of where we need to go to receive this assistance for both renters and property owners, and also who is qualified. So guys, I'm reading it right off the article here. So renters would apply for assistance in terms of How would renters and property owners apply and receive assistance? Renters would apply for assistance with entities that state and local guarantees select to administer the program. Once a renter qualifies for assistance, the administrating entity will send the payment directly to the landlord. If a landlord declines to receive the assistance from the administrating entity, a renter may instead receive a direct payment from the administrating entity to make rental payments to the landlord themselves. Property owners could also assist renters to apply for rental assistance under the program or apply on behalf of the tenant, but it will be required to notify the renter that assistance is being provided on their behalf and obtain their consent in the application. Now, who would be eligible? Well, there's 3 main points that this article here outlines. Point number 1 is that individuals who have a household income of no more than 80% of an area median income, aka the AMI. So it's all in relation to where you live and, well, do you have an income of more than 80% of where you live? Number 2, have one or more household members who can demonstrate a risk of experiencing homelessness or housing instability. Now, I don't know what that necessarily means. There's a lot of legal terms in there that is very vague and very general. And number 3, have one or more household members who qualify for unemployment benefits or experience financial hardship due to directly or indirectly pandemic-related reasons. Now, it pretty much just goes on to say the same things, but I think you guys get the point. Now, guys, after reading that and after reading those 2 obvious points that is in the bill in terms of the $25 billion in rental assistance and also the eviction moratorium being extended to 30 days, here are my initial thoughts. Now, guys, obviously, everything has not been said yet, but my initial thoughts are the fact that this is a mere band-aid, right? Imagine you trying to lose weight, right? Imagine somebody who's overweight, they're looking to be a little bit more healthy. Is the solution to change your diet for only 1 week? Now, guys, there may be some good that comes out of it, right? If you're used to drinking milkshakes and eating hamburgers and eating pizza and eating the oh so delicious In-N-Out burger, all right? If that's your lifestyle and for 1 week you choose to live like Gordon Ramsay and eat broccolis and peppers and tomatoes and all these fruits and vegetables, you may drop a couple pounds for 1 week of doing that, but it's not until you establish a healthier lifestyle and working out and cardio and better diet and, better sleep. It's not until you do that until your body actually begins to change. And well, when I look at stuff like this new stimulus bill that got passed, I'm glad it got passed. Don't get me wrong. It helps a lot of people, but it's a mere band-aid to what's really been going on this entire time. Now, having said that, it doesn't solve anything long-term. If anything, I think it does more damage long-term than it does short-term. Because, well, let's see what we have on the menu. We still have unemployment is still an issue. The wealth gap is still an issue. The affordable housing crisis is still an issue. And there are a lot of people right now who, let's be real, can't afford to get off unemployment. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, these are the individuals who they're receiving more from unemployment than actually working. I recently had a conversation with a property manager friend of mine, and literally he's seeing half his tenants who are actually receiving more in unemployment compared to what they're making at their jobs. And he's like, man, it's just crazy. A lot of our tenants are literally walking around not able to pay rent, but they're walking around in Louis Vuitton bags, in Coach, in Michael Kors, and all these big designer brands that they usually would not be able to afford if they were working their regular job, but now they can because of all the unemployment benefits that are coming in. And these are the same people that are not paying their rent. It's partial payment or they're behind. It is what it is, right? People have the discretion to use their own money based on what they seem fit, I guess, right? Now, guys, there might be those individuals who say, but Daniel, right? What about the delinquencies? What about the displacements? What about all these things that are going on? What is going to happen with those? Now, having said that, guys, I have a lot of thoughts towards those things. But there's a lot of things that we have yet to see. This is really only the tip of the iceberg, right? We have to see how things react to the eviction moratorium. We also have to see how this new $2,000 per citizen stimulus, this new thing that they're talking about, is going to impact and whether or not it's really going to go through. But I do have some data points that are very well relevant, and I'll let you guys be the judge, right? You guys decide where we think we're gonna head based on what I'm about to say. According to Business Insider, as of December of 2020, up to 20 million Americans are officially behind on rent and may be in danger of evictions. An estimated 12 million Americans are behind at least by an average of $6,000 on their back rent. And while the total amount of back rent that Americans now owe went from $7 billion roughly from earlier this year to now over $70 billion to where we are at in December of 2020. Now, having said that, is $25 billion enough? Again, you be the judge. Now, what worries me is that Joe Biden, our supposed president-elect, we still have to see what's happening over there, has stated multiple times that he will use executive orders to continue the eviction moratorium as need be. Now, as need be can be defined as anything you want, from a landlord to a renter to, well, according to the renters, it's forever, right? It's infinite in terms of the eviction moratorium. Now, what the part that scares me even more is that Joe Biden actually, again, has said on multiple cases that he's willing to go as far as to institute complete rent forgiveness. Now, guys, let me know in the comment section below, is that fair? Because personally, I don't think that's fair, right? If you signed the lease, if you signed the contract, and you signed your name on a dotted line saying to the individual that you will pay a certain amount in every single month, I do believe there is an aspect, or at least to some degree, where you are responsible, right? Have we completely lost all responsibility in today's day and age? I hope we didn't, right? But let me know what you guys think. Is that fair? Is rent forgiveness just? Let me know what you think, whether you're a renter, landlord, I don't care who you are, let me know your thoughts. Now, obviously, I still have a lot more thoughts on how the real estate market could be affected based on what gets passed, but of course, we have to see and time will have to tell. Now, having said that, if you guys want continual updates on how the real estate market's gonna get affected, how the housing market's gonna get affected, and also new stimulus things that are being passed, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, click like on this video, and also click on that notification bell if you want more information. Hey, congrats on making it to the end of the video. Now, as some of you may know, my brother and I have been doing a little bit of a giveaway here in December, and we've been giving away 3 copies of our book, 0 to 75 Rental Units in 1 Year, how my brother and I went from literally 0 to 75 rental units in 1 year. The title is very self-explanatory, but we're looking to give away 3 signed copies with a little gift inside, may or may not be a gift card. Now, I'm very happy to say that we already have our first winner, which is Mr. Aaron Lewis. So congratulations, my brother. You will be receiving a signed copy of our book, 0 to 75 Rental Units in 1 Year, along with the gift inside the first page. Now, if you guys want to enter so you guys get your chance to win the other 2, feel free to email us at info@thekwakbrothers.com with the subject line 0 to 75 contest. And if you want to get fancy, put in the body of the email what your goals and initiatives are for the year 2021. And we will be announcing 2 more winners in our videos to come. So again, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.